welcome to Eat Well, Be Happy, our great new cooking show. I'm Deborah.
And I'm Tom.
And we're going to be making 3 really wonderful dishes. Tom and I were talking, and we decided to throw you a curveball. We decided not to do things that you know or that are ordinary. We decided to pick some really odd ingredients.
Some different ingredients.
Different ingredients. So the first thing we're going to be doing, actually I'll tell you what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a chia mango pudding. And
we're going to be doing a kelp noodle salad.
Kelp noodles. And then we're going to be doing a chicken and tofu with dukkha, or dukkha. I never know how to pronounce it. It's an Arab word meaning from, grinding different things. So we're going to start with the chia pudding. So I have 2 cups of whole milk in here. And you can use coconut milk, you could use almond milk, soy milk, but I've used regular milk. And 2 cups of whole milk and 1 cup of water, and to that I'm going to add 1/2 cup of chia. Now, how many people know about chia? It's one of those seeds that is a nutritional powerhouse. They say it's the richest source of the omega-3s that we usually get from fish oil in the plant kingdom. And plus it gets a little gooey when it cooks, so that's going to be the pudding-like. So instead of making tapioca pudding, which you need to stir for about 2 hours, we're going to be using the chia seeds, and we're going to stir them for just about 5 minutes. So you can see how tiny they are. And when chia appeared on Dr. Oz, it became almost impossible to get chia seeds for a while.
Yeah.
And they actually quadrupled in price in the space of 1 year.
Thanks, Dr. Oz.
Thanks you to Dr. Oz. So we're going to put the chia seeds in here. We're going to whisk it a little bit. And let's see if we kind of want a medium heat. And I'm going to put about a tablespoon of vanilla. And again, I'm using a vanilla that is sugar-free and that is gluten-free. And I know that people say this isn't correct, but as far as I know, most vanilla is extracted with a wheat alcohol from the vanilla beans, and that would impart some gluten to the vanilla.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
A chemist once told me that was impossible, that the alcohol would kill gluten, but I'm not sure that they knew what they were talking about.
Well,
so I'm going to play it
be
safe.
safe.
Yeah. So there's our vanilla. And we can put in whatever sweetener we like here. We could put in a coconut sugar, we could put in a honey, we could put in an agave, but I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of a maple syrup. So we have 1/2 cup of the chia with the 2 cups of milk and the 1 cup of water, a tablespoon of vanilla, and our maple syrup.
Okay.
And we are going to be cutting mangoes.
Okay.
Tom is a great mango cutter, and he's taken me off the hook.
Well, there's different ways to do it, but the way I always learned to do it was to take a piece off and make it flat, and then take off the peel. That.
Look how neat you do that.
Well,
So
practice.
mangoes, papayas, pineapples, all those fresh tropical fruits are really high in sugar, but they also have a lot of enzymes. So for folks who have impaired digestion and you don't want to take a digestive enzyme before a meal, you can always have one of these tropical fruits, and it will really help you handle your meal a lot better.
So then you go around, the seed of the mango is shaped kind of like the mango, so what you do is you go around the seed like this.
Oh, you're so clever.
Well, someone taught me how to do this,
Who
a
taught
chef
you?
that I worked with. I think it was Mark Zildjian. Hi, Mark. So then you have that, and you want small pieces?
Yeah, we want to, because we're going to mix them in with our organic blueberries and our organic raspberries, and then we're going to have something that is kind of really beautiful. And this is just beginning to simmer, and it's bubbling around the edges. And so I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit and sort of keep stirring. So ideally, one would want to stir this now until it gets thick, which is usually about 10 minutes. We'll probably do it a little shorter. All right, here we go. I actually have some cold agave not agave, chia seeds that I made the other day.
Yeah.
So we might decide that we want to take that out and sheet a little bit. But I'm really smelling the milk and the vanilla and the maple syrup. It's a wonderful combination. And I found when I made it last week in preparation for this, I just couldn't stop eating it. Then it made me feel good too that I was getting the chia seeds, which again are really high in protein and essential fatty acids, or that omega-3. And they also are really high in fiber. So we Americans, you know, if you judge by the commercials on television, we're always taking something to, you know, to prevent us from being constipated. So this is a delicious way to avoid that. Another thing chia seeds are rich in is calcium. So, you know, we don't necessarily need to take calcium pills if we're eating things that are easy on our digestive system that our body can absorb the calcium from. So they say we have a hard time absorbing the calcium from milk, but we do really well from nuts and seeds and from some other things. All right, so you got
want
the
this in here?
I want the mango in there.
Okay.
Yay, Tom.
Okay.
And to that, we're going to add some lime zest and some lime juice. Whoop. All right. Wow, that looks great. So I have a nice organic lime here, and it feels hard as a rock. It doesn't feel like it has much juice in it. And I don't want to do what some people do, which is put it in the microwave to soften it. So
So is that why you roll it to?
that's why I roll it. And it doesn't always work if
Softens
it doesn't
it up.
have, yeah, if it doesn't have some juice. But we want about 2 tablespoons of the zest. And again, being mindful that we want to try and get just the zest and not the white part of the lime or the lemon, because it will be bitter.
Or the label.
Or the label. All right, come on, label. Thank you. I like the way the green looks in here, too. Am I getting the white? No. Just missing it, aren't
Just
I?
barely. That's good.
Okay. So does that look like enough?
I'll do a little more
All
while
right,
you're
you do
stirring.
a little more. And I'll stir. Oh, beginning to bubble. So I think I'm going to turn this off. And ideally, so I don't know if you can see, but you can see that the chia seeds haven't expanded in size so much, but they've gotten sort of pearly and silky looking. And when you eat them, you'll see that they actually taste really soft and silky, which is nice. They don't taste hard anymore. So we're just gonna, I think maybe if I stick this in the fridge, and maybe we'll kind of finish this, let's do our lime juice. So we want
Let me show you a trick I learned. Alyssa showed me this trick.
Really?
Use the
God,
tongs.
you
to
guys are so
squeeze
clever.
that. Yeah, she taught me that.
That's really wonderful.
And you can make this tool do extra.
It's
juice.
amazing what you learn from different people.
It's amazing what you learn when you're really in a hurry and you need to squeeze 10 limes or something. So whoever's got the fastest method is good.
All right, so I think if I stick this in the fridge for while we're, you know, you're doing your salad and then we do the other dish, then we'll be able to scoop it out at the end and it'll be really good. So I will,
Can I go in here?
I think so.
Room.
Beep, beep. All right. Okay, so now we're on to your dish.
All right, well, what I am going to make is a salad with kelp noodles. So, kelp noodles are made with seaweed, kelp, and it just has a thickener in it, which is sodium alginate, which is also made from seaweed. So, let me show you what they look like.
They look like cellophane
They
noodles.
look like cellophane noodles. They're clear, and they have kind of a crunch to them, which is really nice. So all you have to do is rinse them,
The nice thing about kelp noodles too is they have about 2 calories per serving, so it's almost zilch. And a lot of people who are doing diets that are carb free or this free or that free do kelp noodles very well.
That's right, they have almost no calories. Almost. So they're really long, so what I do is give them, just cut them a little bit so you don't have such long pieces. And those go into the bowl.
And I would say if your teeth don't meet exactly, they're almost impossible to cut with your teeth. So you really do need to cut the noodles first. You'll learn those things as you get older. You're not there yet.
No, you'd be surprised. Okay, so what I like to do before we put avocados in is to put the lemon juice into this. It gets about, well, I said it's 2 tablespoons, but it's a little bit more than 2 tablespoons. But I put the lemon juice in first so that when you cut the avocado, of course, the avocado gets brown very quickly.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. So, put the lemon juice in first. Oh, I need a spoon. Then I'll put that in and we'll cover it with the lemon juice while we get everything else ready and it
Anything you want me to do to help you while you're struggling here?
No, just watch and
Watch and learn
Watch
from the
and learn.
master is what he says.
no. But we get a lot of practice doing this at the store because I wind up making this dish almost every day lately because it's been really popular.
Wow. And avocados are, again, have a lot of calcium, have a lot of protein, have great fats, are
And
easy
they're-
on the digestive system.
And
so
they're
peop-
delicious.
Yes. But people who have impaired gallbladders or things and can't handle fats very well do great on avocados. And you can mash it and use it as a facial.
I haven't tried that yet.
Well, you would look very green.
Okay, so. And another reason I wanted to do this recipe was it shows you a few different types of knife techniques. And a lot of people are a little uncomfortable sometimes using knives, but practice makes perfect, right? And I'm going to mix this with my hands, which I washed very carefully before I
As
started.
Roxanne would say, impeccably clean hands.
Impeccably clean.
Where did she learn that?
Yeah, I know. So the next thing that's going to go in is some zucchini.
And I want to say that zucchini is one food that is really important to use organic because zucchini is now being genetically modified.
Oh, really?
So unless you're buying organic zucchini, about 90% of the zucchini in this country has been genetically modified. And again, I just state for the record, it may turn out to be the best thing since sliced bread. I don't think so, but it may turn out to be. But it's what I don't know that scares me, and I don't want to be a science experiment. So on to our
Right.
organic zucchini.
Okay, so this is going to have a kind of a matchstick cut. So what I do is cut the end off, then you make thin slices.
I notice you're not cutting your fingers. You're doing very well.
So far. No. And then what you do is you stack them up and you cut little matchsticks.
Very clever.
And that way, you know, each piece has a little green on the end and it has a little point to it and it's just a little bit more interesting, I think.
And also easy to eat because you're not getting a humongous piece of
That's right.
zucchini.
And it's
in your
not going to
mouth.
be cooked, so you know you
Yeah.
want a small piece.
And we should mention that kelp noodles are also raw. So if
Yeah.
you're a raw foodist, the salad is right up your alley. And if you're not, you'll still love it.
Just finish those. And if you do this, start slow. Like I said, I do this almost every day, so.
Yeah, I think one of the first shows that we were practicing on, I cut myself, and it was not a pretty sight.
Uh-oh. Okay, so that's going to go right in. And then the last vegetable that we're going to put in here is some Swiss chard.
Okay.
Now, what can you tell us about Swiss chard?
Well, it's a member of the beet family,
Uh-huh.
and I would say it's the only vegetable that I grow in my garden that the rabbits leave alone. And I don't know why.
I wonder why.
But any of the beet family or the spinach as well has something called oxalic acid, so it makes it harder for the body to utilize calcium. So it's one thing that, yes, you can eat it, but you want to have it with some citrus, which you are, or you want to lightly steam it, and just not have it every single day. But other than that, it's a dark leafy green, has iron, has has
That's-
good stuff too.
So with this, what I'll do is take the biggest part of the stem out, which if you're cooking it, you can leave that in because then it's
I
going to
love
get
the
nice
stem.
and
That's my favorite part.
tender. But I find in this, where it's raw, I'm going to take some of it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to chiffonade it.
All right.
Okay? So what you do is you roll it up and you make thin slices.
Very pretty, Tom.
So that, you have the long noodles and you have kind of long pieces here, so that kind of goes with the overall
Yeah.
design.
No, I love the way it looks, and I love the fact that you see the red stem too.
Yeah, that's why we left some of that in.
I notice you're putting the stuff into the garbage instead of to my compost bin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll move it all in afterwards, into the right bin. Okay,
All right.
so that's what it gets. And then the dressing, we've already put in the lemon juice. And hopefully it's already a little bit mixed in there. So lemon juice, it's going to get a little bit of garlic. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of garlic. And it's going to get just salt and pepper to taste. It's, I don't measure these things. I just sort of go by,
Yeah.
what looks right. And add a little less so that if
Yeah.
it needs a little more after you taste it, that's fine. And it also gets a little bit of cayenne pepper, which isn't going to be enough to make it taste hot. It's just going to give it a little
A zing.
extra
Yeah.
something to
Because
it.
the kelp noodles are very bland, and they take
Yeah.
on whatever personality
Yeah,
you give
they
them.
are very plain.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is pumpkin seed oil, which, as you can see, it's really dark and green.
But we should mention that this is a pumpkin seed oil coming from the pumpkins that are grown in Austria.
Right.
And the seeds have no hull, and what they do is they soak them in salt and then they roast them.
Oh, really?
And that's why it gets that really
Okay.
wonderful flavor.
Right, and it's a pumpkin that's grown just for the seeds,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to add some of that because we can always put some more if we want.
Want it all. Why don't you add it all?
Okay.
Can never, good fat, my gosh.
Well, it's very good fat, yes.
Yeah.
That's true. So that's it. And you have to mix well because this, well, as you can see,
They clump together.
the noodles come together a little bit.
Yeah.
And I probably should have used a little bit bigger bowl.
Well,
But anyway,
if you were Jeff, you'd be tossing it.
well, I could do that, but I don't want to make a mess here. Okay, so, and you're going to let that kind of marinate for a few minutes.
Do you put it in the fridge to marinate or room temperature?
No, I'd leave it out. I'd leave
Okay.
it out. In fact, we're going to put it into the serving dish.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very beautiful looking.
it is beautiful. It's nice and green.
I am behind you.
Okay.
Wow, that's really gorgeous. What's your favorite part of the salad when you eat it? The avocados?
The avocado.
All right, so we're going to make our dukkha now. And again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. And I always keep the
let's turn
ingredients in
this.
front of me. Yeah, let's turn that. Thank you.
See it better.
All right. So it's a combination of different nuts and seeds and seasonings. So I'm going to use a half a cup of a whole brown, unhulled sesame seed, a cup of roasted almonds, a cup of shelled pistachios. This is about, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Thank you. And this, I should be roasting these, and in the interest of time, I'm not. I have here whole cumin seeds, about 2 tablespoons, and coriander, about 2 tablespoons, and some thyme, 2 tablespoons. And then I'm just going to grind that. Okay, so this mixture you can use on anything. You could use it on cottage cheese, you could use it on scrambled eggs, but today we're going to put it on sliced tofu, and we're going to put it on nice organic chicken thighs. So we're just going to, the last time I made it, I sliced hard-boiled eggs and I combined it with a white kidney bean and a lot of olive oil, and then I just put the duck on top and put it in the oven for a little bit, and it was absolutely delicious. But it also is good on vegetables, so you could do it on zucchini or squash or potatoes. All right, so, and this makes about, about 2 cups, and then you have some for next time as well. All right, so can you smell the pistachios and the seeds? All right, so the real way to make this is that you want to warm the seeds and warm the nuts until they get fragrant and the seeds start to jump a little bit. But I skipped that today because we want to get this dish into the oven for you.
And when it's in the oven, that will toast the
That's
mixture.
my plan.
Yeah.
And because this is tofu, we'll probably drizzle a little olive oil on that too. The other thing that you may want to add to this, which I should have and forgot, was some salt and pepper. But at any rate, this will be fragrant without it. So we'll coat the tofu with a little bit of olive oil. And we're going to pop that into a 350 degree oven for about 20-25 minutes, and we'll just see how that goes. All right, so I'm going to pop this in.
Okay.
And if you want to move the food processor, Tom.
Sure.
So did you see how fast that was? We made this incredible seasoning mixture that we can use on umpteen things. So when I have that in the oven, then I'm going to take this and put it in an old glass jar. And I save my peanut butter jars that are glass, and then just keep it in the freezer, and it'll keep forever. And then if you need a little zip of something, you could always, we could even add it to that, but we won't. All right,
Okay.
so let's see now. Let's dish out our dessert.
Yeah, it's thickened up nicely.
Oh, good. It's always such a relief when something actually works the way it's supposed to.
Yes, it is.
All right, so we're just going to toss the fruit. I have, oh, that's good. All right, so I'm going to put about a half a cup of fruit in the bottom of each glass. And you can use a glass bowl, you could use any kind of little serving dish you like, or you could even, put it in a big sort of flat bowl and do it. But I like the individual portions
Yeah,
like
this will
this.
look nice, and you can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. So a half a cup of fruit, which I'm dumping all over.
That's all right.
And then we're going to spoon in about a half a cup of the chia pudding on top of the fruit. And ideally, you would like it to be cold. It's a little warm, but that's okay. I'm just going to put another. I don't know why I felt the need to do that, but I felt the need to add a little more. All right, so now we're going to put the, do you want to
That
scoop?
much?
Yeah, but do you want to use that cup? That might be easier to control, I think. And, you might have better luck than I, but
I might.
okay. And it looks just ghastly, but I believe me, it tastes wonderful. You'll just have to pretend you're having, you know, like a rice pudding or a tapioca pudding with this wonderful fruit. All right, and then we're going to top it off with more fruit. Oops, wrong one. We're in a race against time now, Tom and I. We have to get that. All right, almost done.
Good.
Tom, could you get that chicken beside the one that's beside the stove and bring that over?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Thank you. So you can see we had just enough fruit to give a nice generous helping. So, would you like to put the chicken in front, and then we will, which one needs a little bit more fruit? So, here we are, racing against time. We'll put the mint right next to the fruit, if not on it. So, from Deborah.
And Tom.
We had a great time in the kitchen today. We're sorry we raced through. We're sorry you didn't get a chance to see the tofu. But we have the chicken with our dukkha sauce. We have our mango chia pudding. And we have our kelp noodle salad with obligatos, as my grandmother used to say. So we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you try these things. We hope you're not intimidated by ingredients that are a little,
easy.
yeah, it's very
easy.
easy.